Welcome to another episode of From the Street. I am your host, Carl, and I am running for Door County Sheriff, and we have a special guest on our episode today. It is my wife, Melissa.
Hi.
So she agreed to come on because there is a lot to talk about when it comes to being the spouse of a law enforcement officer, and there's a lot that we kind of have to manage as a family and as a couple, and sometimes it's good to talk about this stuff, and it's good to get it out on how stressful it is to have a relationship. And in public safety, it's not always a dream to live in this life, but we make it work. And we had some bumps in the road ourselves, and we're here to kind of tell the story a little bit about it. So most of you know that I started in Sturgeon Bay Police in 2000, and we met in 2002, and we ended up getting married in 2003, and life was great. Life moved really fast for us. We had a Harley, we had a beautiful home, we had an amazing job that she made more than I did, so she was the sugar mama for a while. It was really nice. And then kids came along, and the bike went away, and life got a little bit more stressful for us trying to manage things. So I worked 3 to 11s, and she worked day shift, and we relied on our parents to watch the kids a lot of times. And when we, that 2 hours-ish, 3 hours-ish that we had, where I was at work and she was at work, grandparents usually stepped in, but it was stressful. We made it work. And there was things that calls that I would come home and talk to her about, and she was really my rock for a lot of the things that I experienced. And on top of that, trying to manage a new baby boy, and then in 2006 we had Connor. 2008 we had Kennedy, and as some of you have seen through Facebook, she's had some health problems, but we've always made it work. There was a time when we ended up putting the kids into Boys and Girls Club, and
which they hated.
They hated it, yeah. Well, you think about it, when they were babies, they were all spoiled by Grandma and Grandpa's coming over every day, and then I was working, and I got a frantic phone call. Get up to the ER right away, and Kennedy had, a cashew thing? Cashew sundae, and then she ended up developing an allergy to it, so she ended up puffing up. And, I'm at work, and, she's trying to manage the family while I'm at work and stuff, so it was difficult. Talk about the time when you were sitting on the couch playing with the kids in 2010. We'll get to that in another episode, but
yeah, it was one of those nights where I think I actually posted on Facebook earlier in the night how thankful I was for everything. And then I put the kids to bed, and I was scrolling on Facebook, and people just were messaging me hey, are you okay? Everything good? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. Not knowing that, Carl had gotten shot at, and there was a rumor going around that he was shot. I had no idea, so ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. We'll talk about that on another episode, but nonetheless, you can see how stressful life can be, and there's books out there and things that I know she's read and trying to manage. And is there any advice that you'd have for young girlfriends and wives, maybe, to manage?
Reach out to other police wives. They really know what you're going through. I remember, when Carl, you were in SWAT, we had the SWAT wives got together because the guys would just get called out and they'd be gone for hours on hours. So we had a few nights where we bonded and had dinner and got the kids together. It was really nice. It's very important to have that group of ladies who understand what you're going through. So it's very...
Remember that night we were... Oh, geez. It was Valentine's Day.
Yes, it was Valentine's Day.
We just sat down for a dinner. We finally got a good date night, and did we even get our food? I don't think we got our food yet.
No.
We ordered, And we had pagers at the time. My pager went off. We ended up having a SWAT call. I don't know. Oh, she's so mad. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got to eat the food.
Yeah.
I took it home, so.
Oh, yeah. So it's exciting times, but, then as we progressed and as responsibility for me got harder, the stress started to mount up. And then I reached a point in my career at Sturgeon Bay. I was a sergeant on second shift, and there wasn't really anywhere for me to go, and I had bigger ambitions than that. So I ended up getting hired with the Department of Justice and Division of Criminal Investigation in 2015, and things started to fall apart in our relationship. I dedicated a lot of time to work and made work a priority over family, and ended up working some deep cases and working a lot, and basically left her as a single mom. And we talk about it to this day, and it's one of the biggest regrets that I have, is not focusing on family enough and focusing too much on work, and it drew us apart, and it became a big problem for us, and we ended up getting divorced. It was a stressful time in our life, and 2022-ish, 23, we got back together again, and we never really drew apart. Like we said, our daughter had a lot of health issues, and she went through some pretty rough times health-wise during that stretch, and there was times where we had to spend the night in the hospital together, and the first night was kind of awkward, but it ended up being all right. We were really good co-parents. We even separated. We had family Christmases where the two families blended together, and we went to each other's house every other year, and we celebrated the Christmases together with the kids, and we ended up doing a lot of stuff together. If you had events going on, you'd take the kids, and sometimes I even went, and just to make it more comfortable for the kids, and to make sure that they weren't feeling so away from mom and dad together. And then when we got back together again, and it was a little bit of adjustment for them too. Oh, I'm not getting double the presents for Christmas. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So it ended up working out. But no, it was good, and the stress that I endured and pushed onto her was a lot, and I was selfish in the moment, and we came back together again, and I vowed I would never do that again, and now here we are in a campaign for sheriff, and hoping we don't end up on CCAP again. So
okay, not funny.
No, but it's all good. We have a really good family. She has stood by me from thick and thin through this campaign, and through rumor mill to celebrations to everything that's going around. And we thought we would just jump on board here and make this From the Street video, and just show the other side of the campaign a little bit, the family side of the campaign, and let everybody know that we're going strong, and things are going well for us, and we're hoping that everybody can come out and support us. When you see us on the street, don't be afraid to say hi, and keep trugging along here, I guess. But you have anything else you want to talk about? No? Sounds good. All right, everybody, thank you. Next episode of From the Street will be next Thursday. Maybe we'll dive into one of the biggest ICAC case that I had out of Sturgeon Bay in an extremely long time. We'll talk about that. And this weekend we got the Smoking for Paws Festival in Brussels, and then we got Fearball up in Ephraim, which kind of celebrates the beginning of the boating season. So it's kind of cool to see what Ephraim has to offer up there. And we've seen it from the water a few times because we're on the boat, but it'd be fun to see it from the road too. So hopefully we'll see you at one of those two things this weekend. And if you need anything, reach out, carlforsheriff@gmail.com or waterstreetforsheriff.com. Reach out at either one of those places. All right, everybody, stay safe.